discussing the 10th Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations, which is reduced inequalities. To reduce inequalities means to bring down the number of inequalities that exist, especially in our everyday lives, which we may ignore or not even notice. An inequality means that someone is treated differently because of their wealth, gender, race, ethnicity, color, origin, or natural weakness. For example, blindness or a disability. Around 1 billion people have a disability, and 80% of that 1 million live in least developed countries. 1 in 10 children is a child with a disability. Though maternal mortality rates have declined, women that live in rural areas are still 3 times more likely to die while giving birth than women living in urban centers. So you might be wondering, what is a cause of this? Why do inequalities still exist? Well, some of these causes, which I'm about to tell you, aren't completely in our control. But what we can do is change what happens after that cause. For example, one of the causes is the place of birth. When the child is born into a family that doesn't have access to very many resources, when they grow up, they get the same amount of privileges that their parents had. And mostly when families that don't have a lot of resources are trying to do something, they do not have a lot of privileges. Another cause would be early life opportunities. And here again, the same thing applies. Depending on the family that a child is born into, the opportunities they get to learn when they are young aren't very great as they are for us. So we need to change that and give more good opportunities for people that don't have access to resources. Another cause would be poverty. And this cause is basically that people living in poverty are automatically not getting access to privileges. And as they develop, they are not getting access to resources and the things that we are getting access to. But also, poverty makes it harder for them to try to get out of that hole of poverty, because if they themselves are trying to get their food in their stomachs, and they won't have much time left in the day to actually try to make themselves prosper, to educate themselves, and to get themselves more opportunities to get out of that hole of poverty and help others get out as well. Another cause would be unemployment or a low-paid or bad job. So we need to create more job opportunities for these people and they are already in poverty. And so in order for them to get out, we need to give them more job opportunities so they can actually get food in their stomachs first before they try to get themselves educated. Now let me give you some suggestions, which I call big solutions, that people in power can do in order to change the world and make it a better place to live in. One big solution would be to eliminate discriminatory laws, which would be laws that are treating people differently in a bad way because of their race, color, ethnicity, and all those things that I mentioned earlier. Another big solution would be to invest in health, education, social protection, and decent jobs for young people, migrants, refugees, and other vulnerable communities. Now that I've told you some suggestions that people in power can do, and that we were just talking about how people in power can help, you might be wondering what organizations are already helping. These would be organizations such as UN Women, CETA. And let me tell you some organizations that are helping solve poverty as well, because they are ultimately helping reduce inequalities. These would be organizations such as UNESCO, UNICEF, Bread for the World, World Partnership Bloc, and AKDN. Now for my simple solutions. Encourage children to make friends with kids from all different cultures as well as kids from their own culture. Read books to children that describe and teach them to respect all cultures. Learn to respect all kinds of peoples, even people who do things differently than what you're used to. Take your kids to the park or other communal spaces and try to find opportunities to talk to people from different cultures and try to understand their thoughts, their background, their culture, and their history. Travel, and when you do, don't just do it for pleasure. Learn about the different cultures that exist out there in the world and learn to respect all aspects of human life. If you have any creative solutions to change the world, please share them in the comments below. So I hope you learned a lot from this video and you enjoyed it as well. For more videos like this one, please subscribe to our channel Connections to Build and to Build Well.